Are Ethiopia and Kenya competitors or partners or both? From fiber optic cables to free trade corridors, Ethiopia and Kenya are pushing bold national agendas. But beneath the smiles and handshakes lies a fundamental question. Are they shaping East Africa together or racing to lead it alone? I'm Jalene Tesfaye, and this is Analytica Today. As Kenya celebrates its currency-fueled GDP rise and Ethiopia doubles down on sweeping reforms, the two nations are jostling for position, not with troops or tariffs, but with infrastructure, influence, and investment. But are they competitors, partners, or both? Today, we examine the fault lines and frontiers of this complex relationship, tracking not only diplomatic statements, but trade routes, security pacts, and the silent competitions shaping East Africa's future. Publicly, Ethiopia and Kenya wear the mask of partnership. They co-chair regional summits, co-invest in energy-sharing grids, and took the Lapsed corridor as a shared vision of integrated trade. The Ethiopia-Kenya Moyale one-stop border post has improved cross-border trade efficiency. Joint security operations target arms trafficking and al-Shabaab incursions, reflecting a functional, if uneven, alliance. The 2022 Cross-Border Electrification Memorandum enables Ethiopia's hydropower to feed Kenya's grid, symbolizing interdependence. Kenya also proposed a customs union to streamline logistics along Lapsed through implementation lags. Still, beneath these projects lies a layer of strategic calculation where mutual benefit does not preclude mistrust. Kenya's coastline has long provided strategic dominance in regional logistics. But Ethiopia, landlocked since 1993, is seeking alternatives. Its pivot towards Somaliland's Berbera port, for instance, signaled more than economic diversification. It challenged Kenya's Lamu port aspirations. With billions invested in Lapsed, Nairobi must now reckon with a more assertive Ethiopia, unwilling to rely on a single transit corridor. Infrastructure now represents not just development, but control. Whoever commands the trade routes can reshape the region's economic center of gravity. On paper, both states support African integration, but in forums like the AU and IGAD, their visions often diverge. Kenya, with a deep donor ties and a liberal financial system, casts itself as East Africa's steady hand. Ethiopia, as AU host with rising military clout, is carving out a pan-African posture rooted in demographic and geopolitical weight. Recent tensions over mediation roles in Sudan and Somalia highlight rivalry. Kenya leans on institutional consensus. Ethiopia opts for assertive, sometimes unilateral moves, visible in its Red Sea strategy and outreach to BRICS. In multilateral arenas, their differing styles suggest an underlying competition to shape regional norms and leadership frameworks. Yet, their dynamic need not to be zero-sum. Kenya's strength in services and logistics complements Ethiopia's industrial ambitions. Ethiopian electricity already powers parts of Kenya. Under the African Continental Free Trade Area, their integrated value chains, if fully realized, could redefine regional trade. Both also face shared internal challenges: youth unemployment, rural migration. Rural marginalization, and climate shocks. These pressures incentivize cooperation from agro-processing ventures to joint energy corridors. However, complementarity requires alignment, and that remains elusive. Leadership in Africa is rarely shared without contest. Kenya enters 2025 with macroeconomic momentum. Its stable currency, fintech innovation, and investor appeal position it as a reform leader. But inequality and debt still loom. Ethiopia, meanwhile, is mid-transition. Its liberalization efforts, floating the birr, opening monopolies, courting lenders, come with pain, including inflation and security risks. Yet, these steps could lay the foundation for bottom-up long-term growth. The coming years will be pivotal. Will Ethiopia's industrial zones reach full potential? Can Kenya balance foreign capital with domestic equity? More importantly, will common threats like climate volatility and cross-border insecurity catalyze deeper cooperation or provoke further divergence? In a multipolar world, both have room to lead. The test is whether they can resist rivalry long enough to leverage partnership. So, are Ethiopia and Kenya competitors or partners? The answer is both. They are partners in power grids, but rivals in peace negotiations, allies in trade, but contenders in diplomacy. Their relationship is fluid, shaped by ambition, pragmatism, and shifting sands of regional politics and global dynamics. And perhaps that's the reality of modern African power. In today's Africa, nations don't have to choose between competition and collaboration. They just have to be smart enough to do both, without burning the bridges they still need to cross. I'm Jalene Tesfaye, and this is Analytica Today. If this analysis sparked your insights, share your thoughts below and stay tuned as we track the evolution of Africa's rising giants.